When you write or edit VBA code in Access, you'll do so using the Visual Basic Editor. The editor gives you all the tools you need to manage your code effectively. There are two ways to open the Visual Basic Editor in Access. The first is to go to the Database Tools tab on the ribbon, and then click Visual Basic. The tooltip that appears when you hover the mouse pointer over the Visual Basic button indicates that you can press Alt F11 to go to Visual Basic, and that's the way that I usually do it. So I will go ahead and press the Alt F11 key sequence and open the Visual Basic Editor. When you go to the Visual Basic Editor, it will appear in exactly the state that you left it in. If you've attached some code to an object or created a code module, and that object is open when you switch to the Visual Basic Editor, you will see that code window unless you closed it earlier. In a database with existing code, like this one, you'll see the Project Explorer panel on the left. That panel contains references for the code that's available. If you don't see it, you can display it by clicking the Project Explorer button on the standard toolbar, or by pressing Ctrl-R. You can manage windows within the Visual Basic Editor exactly the way that you do in the Windows operating system. You have the minimize, maximize, and close buttons on all the windows, and you also have the same thing for the Visual Basic Editor at the top right corner of the screen. Also within the Visual Basic Editor, you can view the object browser either by pressing F2 or by clicking the Object Browser button on the standard toolbar. So this is the Object Browser button, and when you open it, you get a list of all the objects that are available within the Access object model. In Access, objects are broken down to classes and then members of those classes. So for example, if you wanted to scroll down in the list and display the doCommand object, clicking it displays a list of all of the members of doCommand. So for example, you can apply a filter, you can make the computer sound a beep, and so on. And then to close the object browser, you can just click the Close button. If you want to save your work, you can do so either by clicking the Save button on the standard toolbar or by pressing Ctrl-S. Also, if you want to print a code module, you can make sure that the code module is active by clicking inside of it so that the cursor is flashing, and then press Ctrl-P, or click the File menu header, and then click Print. If you want to return to Access, you can do so either by pressing Alt F11 or by clicking the View Microsoft Access button. Like any editing environment, it'll take you some time to become fully comfortable using the Visual Basic Editor. Once you're familiar with its controls, though, you'll find that it is a powerful, flexible tool that helps you manage your VBA code effectively.